All right, so hello and welcome to my hyper-automation webinar today. The title of this webinar is Intelligent Finance Invoice Processing with SAP AI Business Services. In my session today, I want to present how different AI function on the business technology platform can be combined to provide instant business value to enterprises. So my name is Tomasz, and I am the responsible area product manager for AI business services related to business document processing at SAP. Today, I want to convey to you the understanding about AI business services and inspire you what is possible with AI-enabled business services on the business technology platform. I will be covering following aspects. First of all, we will have a short overview of what business document processing is. Then I will deep dive into the use case of intelligent invoice processing, and there we will also have a guided demo. Then I will show you the architecture and some kind of enablement hints so that you can start working on those AI business services on your own. At the end, we will have a short Q&A session for your questions. All right, so let me get started. So what do we understand under business document processing and why SAP is heavily investing into this area? Today, many processes in enterprises still involve processing of a large amount of business documents, be it, for example, supplier invoices in accounts payable, or, for example, customer orders in sales. Even though there are various ways to electronically exchange information today, as we all know, still large amounts of documents are being processed manually. Just take a look on the numbers on the left side, like the estimated invoice document volume just in 2019 reached the number of 550 billion records. The challenge is to automatically transform unstructured documents into structured information and embed it directly into business processes to generate instant business value. And this is exactly the definition of the value proposition of our services related to business document processing. So what do we understand under processing of business documents? So typically there are 3 steps. First, classification. So when a document arrives, you need to understand what type of the document it is in order to know what to do with it in the next step. Then you have the extraction of business relevant information out of this document. And here we really talk about semantical information, which you can find on the document. So not in terms of OCRing the document, like extracting only the text, but really the business entities that you can use for your business process. And finally, there is the need for enriching this information with additional master data records or additional accounting related object in your backend system in order to post this information back to your system of record and further process it from there. Value can be seen in increased automation rate, so meaning less human involvement into the process, then higher accuracy by leveraging the latest machine learning algorithms that are out there. And here we are talking about higher effectiveness of your departments and employees. Then increased processing speed and hence operational efficiency. And finally, with all that, the companies can achieve significant cost reductions by reducing, for example, human labor in these processes. So the business scenario at hand that I want to present today refers to supplier invoice processing in accounts payable. As you all know, accounts payable is probably the most time and labor intensive finance and administration function in enterprises today. In fact, processing costs per invoice range from $5 to $12. And roughly 62% of the costs come from manual processes. So oftentimes what we observe with our customers is that invoices arrive without a reference document, like, for example, a purchase order number. Accounts payable departments, they need to invest lots of time to manually insert the required information, like, for example, the right general ledger account or cost center. So these processes are highly repetitive and, as you can imagine, cost intensive. So the acceleration of the processing of invoices without a reference document is a challenge. AI-enabled solutions can provide significant support here because they can automate these tasks. So here, for example, document information extraction as one of AI business services on the platform can provide added value by automatically extracting and enriching unstructured data from an unstructured invoice document, for example, a PDF document. Then invoice object recommendation as another AI business services can provide the prediction for the correct account assignments like GL account and the cost center. So the optimized process could look as follows. An accounts payable clerk receives an invoice, then the invoice is split and data automatically extracted. The enrichment with supplier data from the corresponding master data records then can also take place automatically. Then a customized ML model can predict a GL account and the related cost object. And finally, the invoice can be created and posted back into the system of record. So the business value here can be seen in correct assignment choices, then preventing effort which is spent on correcting the accounts after the payment has been already processed. So you can reduce the redundancy. You can enhance financial reporting by minimizing discrepancies in accounts, and you can enable teams to focus on more strategic tasks, such as, for example, optimizing payment strategies. So today I prepared for you a demo called Intelligent Invoice Creation. It will be featuring exactly the process that I just described. So you will see the AI-enabled business services, document information extraction, and invoice object recommendation. The connection is done via SAP Cloud integration with an on-premise S/4HANA service. The connection is secure via connectivity service and a cloud connector on the on-premise side. In the demo, I will send a supplier invoice via an email. So it's going to just arrive as an email to the cloud integration. And from there on, as you can see here on this high-level architecture, it will run through those steps. So the extraction of the information from the document, then the invoice object recommendation, and then the posting will also happen automatically in SAP S/4HANA. We will take a look also on the posting. And this process will end with an automatic confirmation of the invoice creation back to the customer. All right, so let me now switch to the demo. Okay, let me reload. I hope you now can see my my browser. Let's wait a second. So in the meantime, what I can do, I can show you the invoice that we will be sending to the system. So here you can see like a regular invoice document with some header fields and some line items to be extracted. And let me go back to the system. Yeah, okay, so the system is there. I now need to prepare an email. Just give me a second. I just lost my email because I prepared it before, but that's not a problem. All right, so here's the email template. So here I will just write a short message to the department. And here the attachment is the invoice that I just showed to you. Just let's have a short look on that again. Yeah, so that's exactly the same document. Okay, now I will be sending it to the system for posting. Now let me go back to the system. So in the meantime, what I will be doing is I will be launching the S/4HANA digital core. Sorry, this is in German. I actually wanted to have it in English. Just give me a second. Okay, so now it's in English. Let me now search for the app that I will be using for viewing the postings. Let's manage supplier line items. Okay, this I will leave for a minute. We need first the invoice number to view the postings. Let me go back to my demo landscape. What I now want to do is I want to also show you the cloud integration, because there we will see all the activities that are happening on the platform. Okay, in the meantime, what we can see is that I received an email back from the system, and the email confirms that an invoice with this number has been created in the backend system. So now I can copy this invoice number and can go back to my S/4HANA system. And now I can filter by journal entries. Sorry. So here I can see all my open items for today. And now I can filter for this invoice number. And here what you can see that there is a journal entry already in the backend system with this invoice number, with the amount, which corresponds also to the invoice document that arrived, and also with the corresponding supplier ID, so with the business partner ID. Let's have a look on this journal entry. And here we can see two items. So first of all, we see the supplier ID and the name of the supplier. And we can also see the corresponding GL account assignment. In this case, this was assigned to marketing expenses, as well as the corresponding cost center for this expense. Okay, now let's have a look on the cloud integration, what happened there. So here, now we are on the cloud integration platform. Here I can manage and view all my integration contents. Let me search for my integration content for this scenario. This is intelligent invoice creation. What I can see here now is all the information related to this scenario, as well as the related artifacts. So here I can monitor the messaging processes that have taken place. Let me click on that. And you can see at 5:45 my time, there was a message or a process that was executed by cloud integration. It took roughly 40 seconds and is successfully completed. What I can see here on the right side are attachments. And here you have all the related information that was provided by the ML services in the background. So first of all, we can see the response from the document information extraction service. Let's have a look on that. This is a JSON file, and this JSON file consists of the predictions that were provided by the service. So you can see here the status as done. There is a job ID related with this extraction result, the name of the invoice, and I can search for example, the document number here. You can see that there are plenty of header fields that are being extracted by the service, and document number is one of them. And you can see here the value that was extracted. Let's have a short look onto the document again. So the document number is here, and this is exactly the number that was extracted by the service. What you can see here as well is the confidence value, which is 86%. So with this confidence value, the machine learning model extracted this value from the document. And similarly for all the other header fields as well as the line items. What we can see here are also the email contents. So the text that I posted into the email is provided here. And here is the response from the other ML service, this invoice object recommendation service. And here what you can see are 3 recommendations for the GL accounts and 3 recommendations for the cost centers. So you can see, for example, let's take the GL account. So that was the GL account that was predicted with a confidence of 0.4. So let's have a look onto the S/4HANA system again. So you can see here, that's the GL account that was posted here in the backend system. And finally, there is the S4 response. So there is an OData service that was connected, and the S4 response is basically the information that an invoice was created. Okay, that's it for the demo. Let me go back to my presentation. All right, and let's now have a quick look at the general architecture of AI business services and the consumption options that you have. So AI business services like document information extraction and invoice object recommendation are provided as reusable microservices on SAP Business Technology Platform. They are provided in the form of RESTful APIs, and with that, they are pretty easy to be consumed and integrated in any kind of a way, be it with an SAP system or with a non-SAP application. To access these services, there is a secure connection that for which we can consume those services based on HTTPS connection. And there is also an OAuth 2.0 service for authentication purposes. Optionally, what you can do, as you have seen in the demo, you can also build secure connections with on-prem landscapes by using the connectivity services and the cloud connector. You can use these services also in conjunction with intelligent RPA, as well as with, for example, the help of SAP Cloud Integration, as you've just seen in the demo that I shown. So with this flexible architecture, you can actually build any kind of a business process or application at lowest TCOs possible. For All our AI business services, we provide easy to consume and short tutorials on SAP developer community. So here I provided you with a couple of links for the two services that I presented. And there are also the dedicated SAP help pages where you will find related technical details about those services and the latest release notes so that you see what we are working on. I also added 2 additional blog posts for document information extraction and invoice object recommendation, where you can learn about the possible use cases and how to kickstart your own projects with those services. I hope that the content was interesting and insightful to you. Now let's open the session for questions. Thank you very much. Okay, let me take a look at the Q&A feature. Okay, so one of the questions that popped up, by the way, you can also raise your hand if you want to be unmuted and to ask your question. So first of the question is, can you incorporate a workflow for an internal approval of the AP invoice before sending it back to the supplier? Yes, this is a clear yes. So the business technology platform provides also workflow management application, and there you can also implement workflows for approvals before you send out the confirmation to your suppliers. On top, what you can also do on the BTP is you can implement business rules. So you can make it dependent on a specific business rule. So for example, I don't know, if the invoice is higher than a specific amount, you can then implement an approval workflow to a higher management level if you require that. So yes, this is possible. Then the next one comes from Sanjay. Can you also pick any internal order or project WBS element for an AP invoice? So currently what we provide with this invoice object recommendation service is support for GL accounts and soon also for cost centers. So currently you can implement it for GL accounts and soon also, as I just showed in the demo, for cost objects like cost centers. So currently the internal orders and project WBS would not be supported. Okay, the next one comes from Helen. Is this demo available in our demo store? So it's an SAP internal question. Yes, it is. The number is 17240. Then the next one, is it possible to attach the invoice PDF to the vendor invoice journal entry? Okay, that's a good one. I can't really answer this one. I would need to take this question with me and then answer it afterwards. And the final question, again from Sanjay, is on what basis the GL account gets predicted. So the GL accounts, they are predicted based on historical data. So basically you have to have data at hand in order to train the IOR model. It can be customized for your own GL accounts, and for that you need data from the previous from the previous 12 months. This is basically a dump of your BKPFF table. And with this data, you have to, of course, pre-process the data. And the IOR service provides you the upload, training, retraining, and inference functionalities. So in the tutorials that I provided to you, you can try it out on your own. Okay, and then the final question is, can this AI service replace SAP OCR scanning solution? I'm not sure what kind of SAP OCR scanning solution is being referred to with this question, But since this is an API-based service, I mean the document information extraction service, you can basically replace it based on the API and the endpoints that we provide. Okay, so I think I answered almost all the questions. So the one with the vendor invoice journal entry, I will take with me. And with that, I would say we are at the top of the hour. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you like the content. Yeah, have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Take care. Bye-bye.